Disventure Camp is back. The hype era has begun, and now we can start going on this Disventure Camp page again. So, yesterday I posted a video about me ranking the 6 first people in Disventure Camp 5 fans versus favorites, and now I can actually work on this next video pretty early because they got the Natalia one out pretty early as well. And yeah, we're about to leave for New Year's, so I'm about to get working on this. I am extremely excited to work on it. And yes, I have a lot of thoughts on people like Aubrey, Natalia, Tom, etc. And I know exactly where they're gonna rank. So that means it's time to share with you guys and get to it. Let's freaking go. Yes.
And the #1 Disventure Camp fan. That right there is my biggest asset. I know every player, their strengths and their weaknesses, where they went wrong and where they went right.
So, Bruno will place 6th out of the 7. Well, here's why I think this. So, Bruno is an incredibly cool person. Right? He's the #1 Disventure Camp fan, which could have had him winning. It won't, but it could have in a hypothetical universe. I think Bruno, ChatGPT gave me a very good point that I didn't even consider until he told me that since Bruno knows everything about everyone, if he lets too much on, he will get voted off because he knows how every player went right and every player went wrong, which could be both good and bad thing depending on the favorite you're talking about. So I'm assuming he's very good at reading people. So for right now, I think Bruno just, if he lays low, then I think he's down for a deep run. But as of right now, I don't think he's going to make it super far. He beats Aubrey because I feel like him being the #1 Disventure Camp fan, you wouldn't want to get rid of him first. He wouldn't be the first fan voted off, I wouldn't think. And then he doesn't beat Ren because I think Ren has more potential. His athleticism part was not a part I was expecting when I was watching the voice reveal, so I think this could be very interesting. I think this could be like a very cool person to have in the cast, and I'm very excited for Bruno. I love his character so much. I love his design as well. I think he's going to be a very interesting character. I just need to see him in action before I can say for certain if he's making it far. Maybe give him 5 episodes if he makes it that far. And then I might know where to put him. But for right now, Bruno's right here. All the characters in front of him are more likely to make it far. And the character behind him, I think he's just going to beat because he's the #1 Disventure Camp fan. Whoa!
I'm aware the game has only gotten more difficult and merciless, but I'm not worried. I'm ready to come back and show everyone that I am not to be underestimated.
Lake. I'm extremely excited to see Lake again. Like, oh my gosh. Lake is such a cool person, and after watching the Season 2 remake, it was like, wow. She's actually a diva. Jeez Louise. But will she make it? She can't make it super far because the game has got merciless. I think she's prepared for it, but I don't think she's gonna make it to that stage. Will she make it, like, decently far? Yeah. But I don't think she'll make it, like, that deep. Like, she won't make endgame. She will make a kind of deep run. Deep enough for her to be satisfied, but, yeah. She definitely has to recover and get more screen time after she got she was 17 out of 18th in Disventure Camp All-Stars. And if James would have returned that comeback challenge, she wouldn't have been the first boot, technically. That is insane. And a robbery. We need Lake back. Apparently, the writers hate Lake, which I don't find true. I think Jared and Robert love all their characters. But it has gotten me, like, to lower my expectations a little bit. But for right now, I think she's fine. If she becomes, like, a villain, then yeah, she's making a deep run. And I'll be wrong in this prediction. But for right now, she's good. She makes it harder than Bruno and Aubrey because I think she won't let too much on like Bruno would, and she's more interesting, unlike Olivia. Ren, she doesn't make it farther than Ren, mainly because, like I said, Ren has a lot of potential, and I think Lake can get cut before Ren does. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm probably wrong about a lot of this stuff. But I at least could be on the right track, right?
Most people think that my age may hinder me, but it didn't stop Miriam from winning. My plan to follow in her footsteps is simple.
So Ernesto is 7th. Reason being, he's not super interesting, and I just think he has a better positioning than Olivia. On one hand, I can see Ernesto trying to copy Miriam's strategy and, like, just not getting away with it. Like, he's like, he tries, but then, like, he fails humorously. And then, yeah, I just don't see him. But on the other hand, Ernesto could make it far with Miriam's strategy and then go away. Something else that worries me about Ernesto is that he is trying to copy out someone else's strategy, like copy and paste. We're gonna see like new and improved, but we want to see someone with their own new unique strategy rather than someone who just copying someone else's from a past season. I know he's old like Miriam was, but like still, I don't think that was like something that would be super interesting to see again. So I can actually see him being first boot. But the thing is, I might have to put Evie farther down, and I just need to prioritize for that. I think if he copies Miriam's strategy, her strategy was pretty good, so I think he could make it far. He's gonna beat Olivia and Bruno because he's like more interesting than Olivia in my personal opinion. And Bruno is just Bruno is. I'm just scared for Bruno. I love him so much, but I'm scared for him. I think Ernesto has a better strategy than him going in. So yeah. One thing I want to point out is that the favorites are making it farther than the fans for the most part. R is carrying the fans by a ton, and that's unfortunate. But I mean, I don't know what else to do. I put Ren a little farther because, like, not only because I think he would make it farther, but generally because I think he could make it farther than Lake. I don't know. ChatGPT's is more like balanced, but still.
I've always wanted to play this game without any distractions, so this time, I'm here 100%. I'm actually gonna play or die trying.
Tom, my married gay man, you are finally focusing on the game. I am extremely proud of you. So this time, I think Tom is actually in for a deeper. Nah, I kind of like. He's gonna make it at least halfway through. Like he's gonna get past the 13th placement point. So I think Tom's gonna make it farther than Uli and Bruno. Same reason for Ernesto and Lake. Like it's pretty. We're pretty much repeating myself if I tell you. And he doesn't make it farther than Ernesto because I think Ernesto has some plot relevance. Like. He's going to do something. If he's going to try to follow someone else's strategy, he's either going to be first boot or go around that point. I think it's going to be more around that point. Tom, I think he could have a pretty good gameplay if he tries. But being strategic is going to be hard for Tom because he has the himbo personality. Strong but dumb. I like his new design though. It's pretty cool. Either way, Tom's going to make it farther than Gabby, I'd predict. I think Tom's gonna make it farther than Gabby, but if Gabby makes it farther than Tom, I will not be mad. I will not be mad.
To be able to compete is a dream, and I know I have what it takes to make it far. Being social and becoming friends with people is easy for me as a psych student.
Aubrey is still an absolute icon, and her voice elevates that to the next level. Better than Aura? I mean, voice-wise, I'd say she is. But from a general standpoint, I think Aura is still better. When we get more Aubrey, we'll have to see. Aubrey might be the next Hannah, meaning best character of the said generation. But we'll have to see. I used to decide Hannah was my favorite in episode 1, so we'll have to see what Aubrey can do. So Aubrey's gonna play a hard social game, right? She's gonna make friends, make connections, so no one can vote her off, and everyone can see her as loyal. And I think this could get her past the late mid-merge, and then late pre-merge is where she starts to get a little rocky, right? Her strategy starts to fall apart a little bit, because now people are thinking she's playing with all sides. And then this blows up in her face in early merge or mid-merge. I think she makes it farther than better than the last couple of people we went over. This was a weaker one, set of 6 people, weaker set of 6 people. I think she makes it farther than Oya, Bruno, for the same reasons. She makes it farther than Tom, because I think ONC has to be aware that Tom has 2 seasons of a spinoff. So, missing him wasn't as big, and they have to get rid of him. He can go pretty far. Enough to make people mad, and then cut him short. With Ernesto, she's just generally more interesting and has a better strategy. Lake, because this was the harder one, I think Aubrey could make it farther than Lake. I feel like Lake is like a first person to get voted off in the merge. That's what Lake's giving this season. She wasn't in season 2, Tess was, so this could work. And, I think Aubrey doesn't beat Ren, because I think Ren's athleticism could get him kind of far, and I think Ren is pretty interesting, in my opinion. I like Aubrey more than Ren, but still. Either way, I think this is about where it settles it. So overall, Aubrey's an amazing character, and I cannot wait. Love her design, love her hair, love everything. And I think she's going to be a good part of DC5 Fans vs. Favorites.
Y'all couldn't get enough of me and my dumpster fire gameplay? I'm a social person, so I know it won't be easy, but I'll wipe my tears with $1 million once I want it.
Natalia is probably the person in this batch who will make it the farthest. Not probably, she is. Natalia is like one of the most iconic just general people, not my moves, just general people in season 4. It's like I love her so much. She is like very powerful. She's like bold, brave, and all that. And she's not half bad at challenges. Not good, but not bad either. So make sure to that level. Very minimal challenge wise. I believe that she can make a very deep run in this game. So she makes it farther than a lot of people. Let's go one by one. Aubrey, because she's more interesting than her. Bruno, because I don't think she's gonna let on too much, and I can't really picture a way she's losing too early, right? Not too early. Tom, Natalia doesn't have a spinoff, and plus, I just feel like Tom could be seen as a challenge threat and getting rid of her early. I don't know why, I just kind of see it. I think Ernesto, she makes it farther than Ernesto because she's genuinely more interesting. Lake, because I think Lake is going to be the first merger, and I think Natalia will make a merge and make it farther than that. Aubrey, because Aubrey's like nice, so even though I can see her be played like similar to Hannah, like serious at times, I just think Natalia's going to make it farther than that. Ren, because like he's interesting, I'll give him that, but I don't really see how he would make it farther than Natalia, like voting with her, voting her out, either way, or just none of them. Fiore, and she makes it farther than Fiore. This was like the tough one. Like, should Natalia make it farther than or behind Fiore? I think Natalia is gonna make it farther than Fiore, for the reason that I think if they give Fiore a redemption arc, that will be like enough substance for us. Plus, I think Fiore making it final 2 and make a finale before, she shouldn't go like that far. She's not that kind of double finalist like Rhea. No, I don't see that happening. Either way, I think Natalia's in for a deep run. She doesn't make farther than Rosa because we need some kind of person to be with these villains who are making it far. Spencer, because I don't know. I just don't see Natalia ever making it farther than Spencer. Or if she does, not in this season. And I see R just generally making it farther than almost everyone in this cast. So yeah, that's Natalia for you. And now we're about to pass the mic to ChatGPT. You know what to do, ChatGPT.
I know what to do, Lionbuster. Last time, I ranked 6 players based purely on danger. Not likability, not screen time, but how much damage they can realistically cause to the game. Now that we're adding 6 more names, this isn't about restarting the list. It's about seeing who actually stacks up when new threats enter the board. Let's get into it. First, Fiore. Fiore stays at number 1, and honestly, the new additions only strengthen her position. With bigger personalities, louder fans, and obvious threats entering the game, Fiore benefits massively. She thrives when chaos exists around her. She doesn't need to win challenges, she doesn't need to lead alliances, she just needs people aiming elsewhere. That's still unmatched danger. Second, Spencer. Spencer remains right behind Fiore. What makes him scary now is contrast. Compared to the new cast, he looks calm, stable, and reliable. That's lethal. He's not flashy like Ren, not openly strategic like Era, not emotional like Rosa. He's someone people trust by default, and that kind of quiet positioning makes him extremely dangerous heading into Merge. Third, Ren, unchanged. Ren holds his spot because none of the new players outdo him in raw presence. He's athletic, confident, aware of perception, and fully willing to lean into it. The danger with Ren is visibility. But if he survives early rounds, he becomes a shield and a weapon. Among all 12, he's still one of the hardest players to ignore. Anash fourth. Ara. Ara stays here because while she wants control, that desire also paints a target. The new cast doesn't reduce her danger, but it does limit her margin for error. If she overplays early, she's exposed. If she times it right, she's terrifying. High ceiling, high risk. That keeps her just outside the top 3. Fifth, Natalia. Natalia slides in immediately. She's self-aware, adaptable, and openly acknowledged her past flaws, which is dangerous in a returnee season. Players like Natalia don't dominate. They survive, adjust, and strike when needed. Compared to Rosa, she's more flexible. Compared to Aubrey, she's more experienced. She's a quiet, long-term threat. Sixth, Rosa down. Rosa drops 1 spot, not because she's weaker, but because the board got stronger. Her biggest weapon is trust, but trust-heavy players are vulnerable in chaotic seasons. She's still dangerous socially, but she lacks the adaptability of Natalia and the chaos immunity of Fiore. Still solid, just not top-tier danger anymore. 7th, Aubrey, new. Aubrey lands right here because she's deceptively powerful, socially skilled, psychologically aware, and non-threatening on the surface. The issue? She lacks experience under pressure. If she survives early votes, she becomes extremely dangerous, but she's not immediately scary enough to rank higher yet. 8th, Tom. Tom is dangerous in theory, inconsistent in execution. His biggest threat is emotional gameplay, which can swing votes or implode alliances. That unpredictability keeps him relevant, but it also caps his ceiling. He's someone who can change the game, or remove himself from it. 9th, Lake. Lake sits here because she's reliable, loyal, and steady, which paradoxically makes her less dangerous in this cast. She's valuable to alliances, but rarely controls them. Unless she flips a switch strategically, she's more of a supporting piece than a core threat. 10th, Ernesto. Ernesto brings structure, leadership, and calm, but that's a double-edged sword. In a season this chaotic, overt leadership can get punished early. He's capable, but unlikely to control the board long-term unless the cast stabilizes around him. 11th, Bruno. Bruno's knowledge is impressive, but knowledge alone doesn't win Survivor-style games. Being a superfan makes you predictable. Unless he hides that side of himself, he's more likely to be clocked than feared. 12th, Olivia. Olivia remains last in danger ranking. That doesn't mean she's bad. It means she's least likely to actively shape the game. She's more reactive than proactive, and in a season like DC5, passive players rarely define outcomes. Outro. So that's my updated danger ranking with the new 6 added. Same logic, same foundation, just a wider battlefield. Some players stayed rock solid, others shifted as new threats emerged. And now, Lionbuster, I'm passing the mic back to you.
So, yeah, that was the video. I do appreciate all the 100 likes I got from the last one. Maybe I should give it a couple days. I don't know. Or maybe doing just one big ranking would have been better. But either way, we're still going to do this 4-part series, I guess you can say. It will still be part of the all DC5 Linebuster DC5 content playlist. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I am actually really excited for this next upcoming batch we're going to have for our characters. Anyways, I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.